Hello, this is going to be part 2 of my language video, and we are going to be doing Miyuki Skadi and Celeste Sumsame on this map right here of Shenzhen. So we're going to be doing like what we did for our videos, doing their language and what they're based off of and the process of how I actually figured it out and thought process. So yeah, let's get started. So like all our videos, I'm going to go Celeste Sumsame first, then Miyuki Skadi last. Yes, words. So just a recap, each one is based off of a different space station. Celeste Sumsame is going to be based off of the U.S. space station. So what their language is going to be based off of is English. So, and then Miyuki Skadi is going to be based on the Russian space station, so their language is going to be based off of Russian. So I thought that, like, the US, their main language is English and Spanish. That doesn't really give me much to work with because otherwise I might end up having the same alphabet as I do with Cyprus Moorland, and I don't want that because English alphabet and Spanish alphabet are very similar, especially in phonetics. So I just started with writing out this is wrong side, camera angles. There we go. Started writing out just the average alphabet. Then I decided that, hey, Celeste Sumsame is going to be the most technologically advanced. So, what if, since they're going to have the most technology, what if they all wrote in binary code and ASCII code and talked in ASCII? So basically, binary code is what's on computers. So like it's 0, 1, 0, 1, so on, so on. And each of those zeros and ones coordinate to a certain letter. So, and they're in eight number parts. So with that being, and then ASCII is basically the code for each of these, like 8 things, 8 numbers. And then this is the computer language. So since they're so technologically advanced, I feel like it would make sense if they talked in the language that they use on the computers or whatever technology they have, which will also result in them speaking really fast because you'll see in a few minutes why they're going to speak really fast because there's lots of ones and zeros and lots of numbers. So just to show off the alphabet portion, that's wrong one. The camera angle's always so weird. There you go. So like you can see all the ones and zeros. And yes, I did write out all of them. If you can't tell, I might or might not have gotten a little bit bored in class. I did do this at school. So, they're also a more formal community because if you remember when I was going over like the personalities of the kings and then the prince in that empire, in the Empire of Shadowfax, they are very disciplined. So they're going to use a more formal language. So one of the phrases that specifically Prince Montango will be using a lot is "it will not be necessary," because he gets annoyed at a lot of people, so he's gonna probably just deny a lot of things. So what that phrase looks like in ones and zeros in binary code is all of this. This is just that short little line. Imagine writing a paragraph like this. So yeah, they have to write really quickly, and this is what they write in. Then what they speak in is still the same phrase, "it will not be necessary." They speak in this, so they would go 073, 116, 32, 119, 105, 108, 108, 032, 110, 111, 116, 32, 98, 101, 32, 110, 101, 99, 83, 83, 97, 114, 121. That's how they communicate with each other. So they got to speak really quickly, because imagine having a whole conversation like that and just numbers. So I thought that would be an interesting concept to put into their language instead of having it actually be spoken words. It's numbers, which equate to words. And next we're going to be going on to our last empire, Miyuki Scotty. So Miyuki Scotty is based on Russia. So their language is going to be Russian. That's the main language of Russia. So I just wrote, like all our things, I wrote out the alphabet. So their alphabet's actually really interesting. A lot of its symbols, and then their uppercase and lowercase alphabet are basically the same, just making the symbols smaller. So then I translated all of that into the phonetic version, because once again, most of these people with most of these creatures are going to want to sound as human as possible, so they're going to use the phonetic versions of things. So, one of their common phrases will be, don't teach a learned one, which is a common phrase in Russian, which basically means someone has more experience. Don't offer advice to someone that has more experience than you. So, yeah, and then the alphabet in phonetics is A, B, V, G, D, Y, Yo, Jo, Zo, Z, I, Y, I, J, K, N, A, P, S, T, U, K, H, T, S, Ch, Sh, 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 B, I, B, E, U, J, Ya, Ja. So, yeah, that's the whole alphabet. It is very interesting to pronounce all the phonetics of that. And yeah, that's all our languages. This is a much shorter video than the other one, because I was explaining everything in the other one. Also, to add on, if you haven't already seen, I recently just posted videos about Marina, Princess Marina. She is hard of hearing and also selectively mute, because it hurts for her to speak because of the decaying rash that she has. So I want to just talk about her communication within videos real quick. So basically how she's going to be communicating within her videos is she's going to be, if she's like talking to the camera, like to the audience, she's going to be signing. As well as if like there's a character here, like if it's Silvio or if it's Montango or if it's one of her parents, she's going to be signing to them, and she's going to be facing this way or this way, depending on where the character is. So she will still be signing there, and then those characters will be signing back to her. And she's not going to actually be speaking. But in videos where it's going to just be her inner thoughts, and she's facing the camera or might be facing away from the camera, those when she's going to actually be speaking, she's not going to be signing. Reason why is because convenience for me. I am still learning signs, so I do not want to be signing in literally every video. But at the same time, for continuity reasons, I still want to add in like when she does and when she doesn't sign. So just a little thing if you guys might want to understand what's going on with Marina and whether she's going to be signing all the time or selectively. She's going to be signing selectively, but most of the time. So thanks for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye!